The absolute chaos surrounding Austin McBroom and Catherine Pies has reached a whole new level of messy. Because while Catherine is out here getting married to her new man Igor, Austin is having a complete meltdown, and honestly, it's getting messier by the day. We're talking about wedding invitations being revoked, explosive memoir revelations, and Austin literally trying to destroy Catherine's reputation while she's moved on completely. This whole situation is wild, and I'm going to break down everything that's been happening because, trust me, you haven't heard the full story yet. Let's start with the bombshell that nobody saw coming. After months of speculation, Catherine finally dropped her memoir called Dolores back in May, and let me tell you, she did not hold back. For years, fans of the Ace family thought they had this perfect relationship, this dream family with millions of subscribers watching their every move. But Catherine's book completely shattered that illusion. She revealed that Austin cheated on her with over 20 different women throughout their 7-year marriage. 20 women, you guys. And the worst part? Some of these affairs happened while she was pregnant with their son Steele. Catherine wrote about living what she called a complete lie, pretending to be this happy family for the cameras while dealing with constant betrayal behind the scenes. She described finding explicit messages and photos, discovering hotel receipts, and basically being gaslit for years, while Austin convinced her she was imagining things. The details she shared were absolutely devastating. She talked about how she would confront him with evidence, and he would somehow twist it around to make her feel like she was the problem. Classic narcissistic behavior, honestly. But here's where things get really interesting. Austin's reaction to the memoir was absolutely unhinged. Instead of taking responsibility or showing any remorse, he went on this massive Snapchat rant, trying to discredit Catherine completely. He started attacking her spiritual journey, claiming she was dangerous to their children, and even accused her of forcing friends to do ayahuasca ceremonies. This man literally said on social media that he was concerned for his kids' safety because Catherine was exploring her spirituality. The audacity is just incredible. Austin posted these long, rambling videos where he's clearly spiraling, talking about how Catherine changed when she started going on spiritual retreats and connecting with her inner self. He made it sound like her healing journey was somehow worse than him cheating with dozens of women. Then he dropped this bombshell about finding messages between Catherine and Igor, acting like he discovered some massive betrayal, when in reality, Catherine had already checked out of their marriage because of his constant infidelity.
I'm just angry. It got so bad to the point where good friends of hers came to me, and Catherine forced them to do it, just like she forced me many times, but I turned it down because I didn't believe in it. She forced her friends to do it, and they came to me very concerned because they didn't have a good experience with their iPhone. And they said, Austin, I'm very concerned, not only for Catherine, but for your kids, because this is where they sometimes sleep. I knew I really only had 2 options. Either I get full custody of the kids, or I spend more time with them to protect them. But as she was getting more connected to the spiritual side, we started growing further apart. And it was really sad during this process and her going out, traveling and going on retreats. She found somebody, and I came across their messages, and I didn't know what to make of it. I couldn't comprehend it, I couldn't understand it. But she told me that they were friends that met through their spiritual journey on one of these retreats. Just friends. Here are the messages that I came across. What does that mean? What type of language is that? No idea. But as time was going on, it started to show that this is somebody that she was connecting with.
Then came the Call Her Daddy interview that really exposed everything. Catherine sat down with Alex Cooper and gave the most raw, emotional account of discovering Austin's affairs. She talked about how they hadn't been intimate for years because she couldn't stand being touched by someone who was constantly betraying her. She described the moment she found explicit photos on his phone and how he tried to gaslight her into thinking she was overreacting. The interview was heartbreaking because you could see how much trauma Catherine had been carrying. She talked about staying for the kids, trying to make it work for their family brand, and feeling trapped in this public relationship where she had to pretend everything was perfect. Meanwhile, Austin was out there living his best life, cheating whenever he wanted, while Catherine held down their family and business. Austin's response to the podcast was predictably defensive. He went on his own stream claiming that Catherine knew about the affairs all along and that she was just trying to paint him as the villain for her book sales. Now let's talk about Catherine and Igor's love story, because honestly, it's kind of beautiful despite all the drama surrounding it. Catherine met Igor during one of her spiritual retreats in 2023, and according to her, it was pure fate. She posted this incredible story about how they took a photo by the same waterfall in Brazil 2 years apart without knowing each other. That's some serious universe alignment right there. They did long distance for 8 months, and Catherine was very clear that Igor had to win over her 3 kids because they were her world. The fact that Catherine found love again after everything Austin put her through is honestly inspiring. But Austin couldn't handle seeing her happy. When Catherine announced her engagement to Igor, Austin initially tried to play the supportive ex-husband role. He even got on stream saying he was happy for them and that he might cry at the wedding, because it would be emotional seeing someone he spent 10 years with find their happiness. Sounds sweet, right? Wrong. Because Austin being Austin, he couldn't resist throwing shade. He made this comment about how they probably got engaged because Igor isn't from here, basically insinuating that it was just for immigration purposes. Like, sir, you cheated on this woman with 20+ people and you're trying to diminish her new relationship? The disrespect is astronomical.
And I know you guys have been waiting for me to talk about it. I'm very happy for them, for both of them. And want to congratulate the both of them. I think we talked about this before, but obviously knew about it way before you guys knew about it. I always know first. It happened a long time ago. I'm not sure exactly when or what month it happened, but it definitely happened a long time ago. As you guys are aware, I think it needed to happen sooner than later because he's obviously not from here. So in order for him to stay, that had to happen.
This comment is exactly what got Austin uninvited from the wedding. And honestly, Catherine was completely justified. She had initially invited him because their kids wanted their father there, which shows how much she prioritizes their children's well-being over her own feelings. But Austin had to go and be petty, making immigration jokes about the man who actually treats Catherine with respect.
I got my wedding invitation revoked. Damn. I guess my last stream, I said some things, well, not some things, I said one thing that I probably shouldn't have said, or maybe I could have said in a different way, but I promise you I did not have bad intentions.
The contrast between their current lives is striking. Catherine is planning a wedding with someone who clearly adores her and her children, while Austin is making desperate content trying to stay relevant. She's glowing in her recent photos with Igor, looking genuinely happy for probably the first time in years. Austin, on the other hand, looks like he's barely holding it together in his recent videos. What makes this whole situation even more complex is that they have 3 children together who are watching all of this play out publicly. Catherine has consistently tried to take the high road, only speaking her truth when necessary and always emphasizing that Austin is still their father. Looking at everything that's happened, it's clear that Catherine has completely moved on from Austin and their toxic relationship. She's found genuine love, she's speaking her truth, and she's building a new life. Austin, meanwhile, seems stuck in this cycle of trying to rewrite history and make himself the victim in a situation where he was clearly the one causing harm. So, what do you guys think about this whole mess? Are you Team Catherine, or do you think Austin has any valid points? And honestly, how do you think this is going to end? Because something tells me Austin isn't done stirring up drama. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, because this situation just keeps getting wilder by the day.